Alrighty guys, it is Quaman here today, and I know that it has been so long since you guys have heard my voice. I'm not going to waste too much time going in depth about what's going on with me, but just for those of you who've been really curious, I've been dealing with a couple of problems on YouTube in terms of copyright. You know, I had to join a new network, I had to change the format of my videos, I had to remove a lot of my videos that were giving me a lot of copyright issues. So from here on out, guys, I'm going to have to rebuild this channel from scratch. I'm going to have to do a lot of things to remake a lot of the old videos I did with a better analysis, and at the same time I'm also going to be bringing in a lot of new content too. So don't worry necessarily about what's going on with the channel, as I'm working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And in today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about Dragon Ball Heroes and why I feel like this Dragon Ball Heroes series actually has a lot of potential, even if you didn't necessarily like the first episode. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video, guys. And yes, I'm back, and I appreciate you for all of your wonderful patience. And just know, before I finally get into the discussion, that this will probably be one of the very few videos that I'm going to upload on this channel here on out that doesn't have a lot of high editing. I just kind of did this video as obviously the whole Dragon Ball Heroes thing is going on right now, and I understand that this is a topic that you guys probably would prefer me to do quicker than later. So with all of that disclaimer stuff out of the way, let's get into the discussion. So in terms of my opinion about this whole Dragon Ball Heroes thing, guys, the thing to me is that when Dragon Ball Heroes was announced, you know, and I heard about the news weeks ago, I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't necessarily like too intrigued about it. The reason why I wasn't was because I said to myself, like, how is this gonna work? Because Dragon Ball Heroes is based off of a video game. It's essentially glorified Dragon Ball fan fiction, and the writers can essentially do whatever the heck they want, as you could see Super Saiyan 4 Goku fighting off against Super Saiyan Blue Goku in the episode. So conceptually, it was a very loose topic, and conceptually, it was something that was only being made as a promotional type of material. So I was like, I don't really think this has a lot of potential. And then when I saw the episode, I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't necessarily, you know, really impressed. I thought the animation was some of the better Dragon Ball Super-like animation that we've seen. But there wasn't really anything in the episode to me that really stood out. I do like the concept of the prison planet stuff where, like, you know, Fu is trying to essentially, like, trap these guys on the planet, and they're essentially going to have to fight each other, you know, for survival and collect Dragon Balls to even get off the planet. I do like that survival atmosphere that it's bringing with all of these different characters and time travel. I think that's a brilliant concept. But I do think at the same time that this could be loose writing. And I say all of this to say that despite the fact that all of this fan fiction could possibly bring Dragon Ball down because the story is so broad, I think this is a brilliant idea. And I want you guys to really hear me out on this. If you look throughout Dragon Ball history, right, when was Dragon Ball at its best? Dragon Ball was at its best when Akira Toriyama was involved in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and he was like completely involved in every aspect. When you look at Dragon Ball GT, he was partially involved in it, and then in Dragon Ball Super, he's kind of just guiding the general direction of the show, but he's not doing the nitty-gritty work that he originally did when Dragon Ball had its original manga and anime run in Japan. And why is this all important? Well, the thing that I'm saying here is that when you look at where Dragon Ball has made its mistakes with Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT, whenever Toei has had to make a serious construct Dragon Ball storyline without Akira Toriyama's, you know, obviously support 100% throughout the series, they kind of put themselves in a situation where trying to do complex, difficult stories ends up going the wrong way. In Dragon Ball GT, some of the biggest issues that we saw is that Goku would often be put in a situation where he would have to do all of the work, whereas in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, although Goku was the lead character, there was a lot of support from other characters out there, whereas in Dragon Ball GT, it was basically Dragon Ball Goku's time, as everybody had to just sit around and wait for Goku to save them every single time, and they were pretty much good for just powering him and Vegeta up. Like, they had no virtual value in that entire series, and whenever other characters were put into the spotlight, they were quickly thrown away for Goku to come back, such as what happened to Ooh when he fought against baby Vegeta. And then when we look at Dragon Ball Super, guys, I think Dragon Ball Super is a great example in all of this, because although the character usage in many ways was better for Super than it was for Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super lacked a lot of direction, where in the first two arcs, you know, they retold the movies, but they retold the worst parts of the movies. Then for the Universe 6 tournament, there was virtually no tension at all, because Goku and Vegeta could have one-shotted everybody there, so all of the fights were essentially boring before Goku and Vegeta eventually fought against Hit. Then the Future Trunks arc was arguably the best arc, but, you know, some of the issues that arc struggled with is the fact that they didn't know what were the best parts of the story to focus on. They've kept going back and forth between certain things in that arc that I felt that they didn't necessarily need to focus on, whereas the best parts they only touched on at points. And then for the Tournament of Power, we all know that despite the fact that there were a lot of great moments in the Tournament of Power, that arc really dragged out at certain times. Like, there's some certain parts of that arc that shouldn't even be in it. So, I'm saying all of this, guys, to say that when you look at these grandiose arcs of Dragon Ball, and when you look at when we see the storyline trying to do these complex things, that's when Dragon Ball has often fell on its 2 feet. But when you look at Dragon Ball Heroes, this is a completely original storyline that we don't really necessarily have to take too seriously, which is why it makes it good. Because we're going into this knowing that this is going to be fan fiction from the get-go, we don't really have any, our expectations can't drop below a certain point, because all of us who are watching this anyways have to be hardcore Dragon Ball fans that just want to watch more Dragon Ball. A lot of the casual Dragon Ball fans out there are probably not going to watch this, and I know this because I was talking to my friend the other day, who I would say is a pretty casual Dragon Ball fan. You know, he was one of the guys who used to watch it all the time when he was a kid, but sort of fell out of it as he became an adult. He saw Dragon Ball Super, he saw GT, but, you know, he doesn't watch, like, the little nitty-gritty stuff like Yosen Goku and his friends return, or, you know, the Bardock special where he goes to fight against Chill. Like, he doesn't really watch those little nitty-gritty things, and he didn't even know that this whole promotional anime of Dragon Ball Heroes was even happening. So really, guys, this whole Dragon Ball Heroes anime as a whole is a very hardcore Dragon Ball fan thing. This isn't something that most people are just going to watch on their own accord. So by default, I think the creative potential of all of this is absolutely enormous. And there are some issues I had with the episode in particular, like such as, you know, when Mai just randomly shows up on the Supreme Kai's planet, but it's like, but how could Mai just randomly show up? Unless, you know, off-screen Goku or somebody else brought her there. But, like, other than that, like, I don't understand how Mai could have gotten to the Supreme Kai's planet, or how she would have even existed in that timeline as a whole. Like, I could understand how Fu could, you know, bring these different warriors from different timelines there, because he obviously has the power to, like, assimilate them on that whole prison planet. But for just casual people to get there, I just don't see how that happened. In addition to that, I do think the fight between Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan 4 was a little lackluster. Because, I mean, guys, like, this is something that people have been theorizing for years. I want you guys to actually sit down and think about this. Like, we saw Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Goku fight for, like, 2 minutes, and it wasn't really spectacular. Because when you really think about it, guys, like, this debate amongst Dragon Ball fans is so huge that we would have probably expected the biggest climactic thing ever, and what we got is a few exchanged punches and kicks. Now, granted, this is just the beginning of this whole Dragon Ball Heroes promotional anime, so obviously there's a lot more they can do, and Japan wants to make this a solo Japanese thing, but at the same time, I think this whole 8 to 10 minute format it might not be the best for ingratiating a true Dragon Ball story, even if you want your creative potential to be out there, because there's just not that much you could do in such a little amount of time. But, you know, despite all of that, guys, I do have a positive outlook on this whole Dragon Ball Heroes thing, even though I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of how this episode went. And I want to know all of your thoughts in the comment section below as to what are your expectations for Dragon Ball Super or this Dragon Ball Heroes anime moving forward, and some of the many things that you expect to see. So with everything else said, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys. And this is why I believe that we should have a positive outlook on this new anime.